We begin our journey in a lesser traveled section of Burgundy, moving through the Nevers region to the Yonne Department. The area has been producing white wines for centuries, dating back to the first Roman roads that were built here. Pouilly-Fumé was first made by the monks in the Middle Ages as a sacramental wine that was less likely to stain their robes. Pouilly-Fumé is made from Sauvignon Blanc, which develops a smoky gray bloom at harvest. The word fumé translates to smoke and refers to both the color of the bloom and the smoky bouquet typically imparted by the Pouilly-Loire terroir. The area is painted in scenic beauty with a sleepy landscape, which proves to be full of surprises. Quiet vineyards give way to timeless villages and the random ancient chateaus that dot the landscape. We're on our way now to meet a new friend, Sarah Preston, who will guide us on a tour of Guedelon, a 12th century castle that is being constructed today using only medieval tools and techniques.
We are here at Guedelon Castle in Burgundy, where we are building a medieval style castle using the same tools, techniques and materials that would have been used in the early 13th century. This is an example of experimental archaeology on a massive scale. We are building in order to better understand how our ancestors built the castles, cathedrals and chapels, which we can still visit in France today. So this year we are in the year of our Lord 1245. The King of France is Louis IX, the future Saint Louis. He is a very strong king at this time, and this is a time of peace and prosperity for the French kingdom. A castle like ours, a stone castle being built in this particular region, is not, contrary to what we might expect, being built for military defense. This is more than anything a statement of social power and economic status. We're particularly interested in a style of castles known in French as a Philippian castle. This is the French castel. It's a standard model of castle which was implemented by Philip Augustus. He built thousands of castles throughout his reign in order to strengthen his kingdom, and he employed this standard design. The castle that we're building at Guedelon is not based on one particular existing castle. What we've done is take the different characteristics which we find in different sites and combine them to produce a castle which might have existed in this area at this particular time period. We find accounts from this period which tell us that towers must be built to the dimensions of the tower in Paris. So the Louvre, the medieval Louvre, which is hidden underneath the modern day museum, was very much a model, a reference for castle builders then. You can also see ranges of buildings built against the curtain walls themselves, and then an open courtyard giving us space and light. A castle is not just a military stronghold, it's also a residence, but it's also very much an economic centre. It's where all the goods which he raises in taxes and tithes can be brought back and stored within the castle. It's equally a social centre, it's where dances and feasts are held, and it's also, importantly, a centre for justice. The Lord can dispense justice from within the castle walls, and the Great Hall acts as both a social area, this is a dining area, but it's also a courtroom, and so the Lord could dispense justice, and you would expect members of the public to come into the castle for those periods of time.
Guedelon was begun to study the techniques and materials used in medieval times to construct castles and to bring economic development to this area of Burgundy that saw very little tourism. It was expected to take 25 years to construct. Now, 17 years into the project, they see their work continuing for many more years to come. The project is funded solely by ticket sales, the gift shop, and a medieval restaurant. The site sees over 300,000 tourists each year. All French students come twice during their educational years to tour and see the ancient trades of castle building taking place here in modern times. The influx of students is purposeful in its intent to attract new generations of craftsmen into these ancient trades, providing talent for the ever-growing needs of monument restoration. The craftsmen trained at Guedelon will take their skills learned here and apply them to important restoration projects throughout France and Europe.